Nice. Perfect. So if you can sit there.
Great.
And just so you already know, let me go kind of close it a little bit. So these are recorded.
Okay.
And so the phone's recording.
Great.
And so it's open to the public. That's the biggest reason why.
Gotcha.
And
I doubt anyone will be tuning into mine, but
no worries. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Policy.
So let me pull up. And just bear with me.
Sure.
I just kind of got in, so just catching up a bit.
No problem.
I'm just pulling up a script we have to kind of follow. Okay. All right, so perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
So my name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeals today, and it's being recorded, like I said, to the public. So just stating a few things for the record. Just correct me if I'm wrong on anything. Your appeal number is 548.
Correct.
And the property you are appealing is 771 Reef Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, 06824.
Correct.
And you are the owner, John Altieri?
Correct.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
You are.
Okay, perfect. And the town has your property appraised at $540,470, and you're requesting the town reduce your appraisal to $519,400.
Correct.
Perfect. And if you can raise your right hand for an oath, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give today concerning the assessment field now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Perfect. Did she give you a waiver to sign?
No.
Okay. If you can... That's fine. If you can sign and date this.
Sure. Should I fill in the appeal number?
Yeah, that's 548. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, great. So this is your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of the house on October 1, 2020 should be $519,400, and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home would likely to be sold for on that date, so please try to be as succinct as possible.
Sure.
And we're all volunteer board members. We're all here for you.
Great.
So we're just here to present your case to the board afterwards.
Understood. So I guess the first thing that I wanted to present was I received a professional appraisal on August 18th of 2020, which is very close to that October 1st date.
Okay.
That was at a value lower than the current assessment for 2020. And it's my understanding that it's 70% is how they determine the value. So 70% of the assessed value, which I submitted the appraisal along with my application, would reflect a lesser value than what the town had based. So that was really the evidence that I wanted to present. I have another comp and a few other things that I could mention as well. Okay. But I'm just kind of looking for you. I don't want to...
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay.
So I do see the 3 comparables on the actual formal appraisal. You have another...
Yeah, and those comps were provided not by me, but by the company that provided the professional appraisal. The other comp that I thought would be a good consideration was 203 Catherine Terrace, which traded on May of 2020 at a value of $760,000, and it's
What was the value on that?
760.
Okay.
And it's very similar in size, layout, but has been further updated than mine. You know, there are several planned capital improvements that I was made aware of on my home inspection that are going to cost a fair amount of capital, including a faulty foundation, and I have an engineer's report.
On your property? On
my property, correct. Okay. Due to pocketing in the foundation from faulty concrete when it was poured in the 1950s.
Okay.
And that estimated repair is going to be $30,000 to re-pour. And then there's also a roof leak, and the previous owner submitted an insurance claim in the value of about approximately $1,200.
Okay.
And the remaining life of the roof, according to the home inspector, was approximately 5 to 10 years remaining. So in the final third of its useful life,
okay,
or 25%.
Okay.
Also, the last thing that I wanted to present was I received a couple statistics from the Al Filippone Association on sales just to reflect market, and 2020 sales were reflected 1,204 home sales in Fairfield, which was an increase of 35% from 2019.
Yep. And
the median sale price, I'm sure you're aware of this, was increased from was up to $650,000 for 2020, which was an increase of 18.8% over 2019, which was $547,125. So the current market conditions can be perceived as a bubble or hyperinflated.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel strongly that my tax increase should reflect temporary market conditions, but should rather be looked at over a longer course of this life. I'm planning on owning this home for 30 plus years, given my mortgage and everything. So I don't want it to get hyperinflated due to a short stint where, given unprecedented circumstances that are inflating the market prices right at the moment.
Yeah, and it's for 5 years too. So I mean, essentially, I totally get it.
Yeah, no, but I think it's really unlikely that what's been explained to me is it's really unlikely that your tax assessment ever really goes down. It's more that it just stays the same or increases.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to have an increase just because I happen to purchase my home during a really hot market.
Yeah.
So I guess that was just the point that I was driving at.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay.
Did you have details on 203? Did you want to add anything else to the record, like for 203 Catherine Terrace, or?
No. What I gave you were really all the details that I have.
Okay.
Is there anything else in particular that you were looking for?
No, it's just building a case for me to present to the board. So I am just seeing, because we all deliberate on this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I see 203 Catherine Terrace here. 60. And you believe that's probably the most comparable to your house? No.
Well, I think that I couldn't find a direct comparable, but I think that is just slightly higher, and the reason being is because it's been more upgraded and doesn't have, to my knowledge, a faulty concrete foundation or roof repairs, which would kind of offset the difference in values. Okay. So relatively speaking, I think it is a good comp.
Okay.
But you have to factor in there are a few things happening in my home that are going to be upcoming expenses that should be reflected in the value that probably aren't reflected on a MLS listing but are reflected in a home inspection.
Right. We have your land at 435, you're going to 334. Yeah, so theirs is more outdated, or you're updated, I mean. Okay. Anything else you would like to add?
No, just thank you for your time, and
Yeah. So I'll go over next steps with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to be presenting your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for
Mhm.
consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions are going to be made in March.
Okay.
And so if your appeal is denied, you can come back next year.
Okay.
If you're granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal your decision in court, and then instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in.
Of course.
And,
thank you. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Good luck. Take care.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Are you new to town?
No, I grew up in Fairfield,
Yeah.
and then went to school in California, and then moved back home after. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I grew up in the area. How about yourself?
I just bought my house about 2 years ago.
Oh, congrats.
So kind of new.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where from?
From all over Connecticut, but I lived in Australia, LA,
Wow.
all other places. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I went to Loyola Marymount, so I was in LA for a while as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Take care.
that's when I looked at all the other properties, I mean, trying to make sure that they all have garages, they all have garages, they all have, and actually most of them have more room and more square footage than we have. The last thing I did is on the third page, I listed, I just went on, when you're talking about recent homes in our area. And again, type 5 homes, South Benson, Riverside, Oldfield, and what else is selling for? Has a neutral all the one of them is 2024 years 2021. And the house is similar to ours, is selling for, believe it or not, $475. The most expensive one listed was $741, and that was on these roads that he said was 26 to 79 square feet. It's just, I think the town is very wrong.
Okay, so if you were to look at these lists of sales here, which one would you say is pretty similar to your home? I know these guys have lots of rooms and high square footage, but you have a eight.
Ours is
So if you were to look at these, like, only thinking about the same amount of square footage, it's kind of close to your house.
Third road.
Okay, that's Third Road, is that close to you? Okay.
No,
So the comp is 145, would you say that's the closest sales comp?
I think so, either that or the South End one.
Square footage, yeah, but in terms of how the house is, the square footage and the style of the living room, and when you do that, you look right at the last.
That's true, that's what I think.
Right, so 775, that was sold on March 24th, 2020, and that was a 2,300 square foot house. Okay, so that one you think is a pretty close comp to your.
Well, sure, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Three
fair.
bedroom, two bath. Okay. And then what was the second one that you saw? Did you say the South Benson one?
I thought the South End. They're all very similar, that's why I picked them. They were there the last time. That's why. Maybe the money is different.
Hello, this is Remy. Oh, hey, Amy, I'm great. How are you?
Well, real is that I didn't know and they brought our taxes, they can, these are the, I think it's faulty logic, it's faulty reason for the process itself. I will fight it everywhere I can. Not that I don't believe in taking my fair share. I think I'm taking more than my fair share based on what my neighbors say.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
So our job is to figure out, are you doing too much?
I agree. And I thought it's probably in between. But like I said, every house is something unique. And I realize that. That's what I can't do it, but every house is ridiculous.
You can sit right here. Welcome.
So I'm assuming you work for the town?
I'm one of the board members. So
Okay,
we're all
great.
volunteers.
Got
And
it.
so we all deliberate together for all this.
Excellent.
It is being recorded. It's out to the public. So, I mean, just so you are aware, that's why we got the phone here.
Yep.
So just want to give you kind of an idea. So just to let you know, I'm one of the 9 members of the board. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and your hearing is being recorded. To verify a few things, your appeal number today is 618, and let me know if any of this is wrong.
Correct? Yep.
The property you're appealing is 205 Longdean Road in Fairfield.
Correct?
And the town has your house appraised at $542,000, and you're requesting that the town reduce your appraise to $485,000.
Right.
Okay, perfect. And I'm just going to confirm you're Michael Coolin, the owner of the property.
Yes.
Perfect. And if you can just raise your right hand for the oath. Do you solemnly swear that the information that you shall give concerning the assessment, appeal, now in question should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Okay, so
I need to sign this?
Yes, please. Did she give you that at the front desk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, here's your opportunity to present testimony as why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st was $485,000 and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your house would have likely been sold at on October 1st. So please try to be as succinct as possible.
Okay. I also had a preliminary hearing, right? And I don't know who those folks were. It might have been an outsourced type thing, or
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I had a nice discussion with somebody then.
Okay.
I thought something would have been adjusted, and so did he. Just to kind of set the tone here. I thought I pleaded my case pretty well there, and he was like, "Oh, you definitely have a case. I would think that they would do something for you."
When did you have that hearing?
God, when was it? I don't know, when were all those being held?
For last year?
Was it last year?
Yeah, I want to say it was, but I'm not sure.
November?
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to take a look.
Okay.
But
no worries.
Yeah, the gentleman was very nice. He knew about all the information that I had sent over. All the stuff that I sent you today was pretty much around the same stuff. I did pick up one or two few more comps.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue is, and I'm not sure if you know where Long Dean Road is. It's by Veris Park.
Yep.
You have the treatment center. You've got the fire station, the buses, the fill pile, all that stuff that's going on over there.
Right.
Is within direct view of my house because I'm at the end of the cul-de-sac,
Okay.
which is the closest to the water treatment plant.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm down the end of the street. They're in the process, I think the biggest issue that's affected the value of my home in the past 5 years has probably been the most recent things with the fill pile and the contamination and all that, because I've had the house appraised when I had it refinanced.
Yep.
And they only appraised, I think they appraised the house just under $500,000.
You gave us the appraisal on this, right?
I think I might have, yeah. Or maybe not. I don't know if I was able to find it or not. But that was only a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And within the past 18 months, a neighbor of mine who's been a long-time homeowner like myself sold his house, which is one of the comps on the bottom, number 200 Long Dean. He had it on for 6, right? So I thought, okay, he's probably in the ballpark. It's a larger house.
Yeah.
4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. I'm 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. And in the end, he was only able to sell for $460,000.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I got my ballpark between being appraised at under 5 and this guy's house selling at $460. I got a little bit, and a lot of the comments he was getting back from the brokers. Well, you've got this view, which I knew when I bought it, right? But there wasn't as much activity back in 2003.
Right.
The fire station wasn't there. The buses weren't really prevalent.
Right.
They weren't honking horns every morning. The landscape center wasn't quite as noisy and smelly. So there are a lot of things have changed over the past 18 years that I've owned the house. I haven't done a lot to the house either, so it's not like I've renovated where the value of the house is a lot more. Another house just recently sold at number 32 Long Dean for $417. Again, larger house, 10 rooms, same size house, sorry, but it's got more rooms, 2 baths. So I'm beginning to see this trend that homes on that street or in the area of Veris and Long Dean are not going to be yielding what everybody thinks they're going to be yielding, right?
Right.
The other concern I had, obviously, is the biggest concern, and we've had Brenda Kopchik come down and Brian Kerry, when he was around, come down and take a look at what was going on with the new retaining wall they're building around all those properties down there.
Yeah.
That project's come to a screaming halt because of PCB problems in the ground.
Oh, boy.
And that's been widely publicized. And obviously I sent you links to all the various stories that have come out about that. So obviously anyone that's a new home buyer not necessarily even tomorrow, but even in the next couple of years, is going to realize that, hey, there's still an issue here, right? And it hasn't been resolved. The project came to a halt. It was supposed to be completed last year at some point, I think September time frame.
And you submitted?
I submitted some photos of some of the neighboring homes, like directly behind me on Forest Street, there's these hideous two families, which we've called plight on a few times, because the homeowners back there just don't want to take care of their properties. So, I mean, it's a combination of things that weren't there in 2003 when I bought the house. Things have, and it's all kind of happened in the past, within the past 5 years, really, or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But, this wall that's going up over there, obviously not something, we chose. Obviously the town has, decided to put up and get a grant from the government to protect the assets for the next 100-year flood, which I think we had with Sandy.
Yeah.
I hope I don't see water again, because I had 4 feet of water around my house back then.
Jeez.
And we still haven't bumped the house up or done much to it since I bought it. The house was built in '79, right? So It's pretty solid. But at the end of the day, and my father-in-law owns Settlers and Traders Real Estate down in Westport, and he's kind of given me his input.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal. Everybody that comes in here probably has a list of comps and is fighting, different neighborhoods in town. I'm just focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
The environmental issues. And I hope that nobody in the area, comes down with any type of form of cancer from it, because obviously we're west of all this, right?
Yeah.
There was one year my white Adirondack chairs were black.
Oh boy.
Because of the stuff that was in the air, and I'm hoping myself and my 13-year-old twins aren't going to contract any form of cancer, because that would be the next thing, which would be obviously a major lawsuit to the town. But the last thing I want to do is pay more in taxes for a property that is not valued where it is. What you guys are saying to this.
Right.
In fact, it's even lower. The first guy that did the hearing, the preliminary hearing, even said, "Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they lowered your taxes."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, that's really where I'm driving."
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not going to pay more. Especially with, I understand, when I moved here, the mill rate was 12 and a half. Now we're above 24 with this new increase. I can't control that train. That's already, that leaves the station, and wherever you are. But the things I like to think I can control is at least, having been a long time Fairfield resident, and even during my childhood, I was Penfield Beach captain down there.
Oh, nice.
I moved here in '79, '78, graduated from Ludlow, so I've got a long history in the town.
Yeah.
I was an EMT for years. So, there's a lot, that I've done here.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm kind of new to town from the past 2 years.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There's been so many great changes, or wild changes, I should say.
Yeah. And I've had conversations with some of the board members, like I'm good friends with Amy O'Shea and some of the other folks, and I'm just trying to get a sense of what's going on, and Brenda's been very good, so we've had her come down. She's been very helpful, lining up the right, people to come down and talk to us about things, about putting in trees and other things to try to help with the aesthetics of the area. But at the end of the day, the biggest concern for me is more environmental and how that's impacting the value of my house and the neighboring homes around us. So,
yeah, no, it makes sense.
you go across Reef Road, and that's a different story, right? Or if you go along Fairfield Beach Road, and I know those guys were complaining a little bit about the fill pile. But at the end of the day, I'm west.
Yeah.
And I worry that the wind blows out of the west all day long. Southwest, west. So, that's, in a nutshell, I'm not going to go on and on and on, but, just looking at the comps, going from 460 to 417, I'm worried. I'm like, why am I at 542? It's way out of whack, yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely present it with the board. Is there anything else you wanted to add to the record, like any other documents?
I don't think so. Because, and we haven't really gotten that well organized as a group around the neighborhood, but
Yeah.
And we haven't really received any updates from Brenda about where we are with, the contamination, the PCBs around the water treatment plant, which is the biggest issue right now.
Yeah. So
And
the whole retaining wall, that's going to just stay up?
Sorry?
The retaining wall that was there with the PVC piping underneath it, is that just going to stay there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you've got the big toll wall, and then you've got that big steel wall.
Yeah.
Which has come to, that project's come to a halt until I think they, figure out with the DEP and everybody else what to do, about the contamination.
Right.
And then it should move along pretty quickly, but again, we're kind of at a place where if I had to sell my house, this year or next year, I'd be really pretty concerned about the value of it.
Yeah.
Just because realtors come down. I mean, I've had realtors come down. They drive down with people, who have looked at the house across the street. It was on for 6, and they just keep driving.
Yeah.
They get down to the end of the cul-de-sac, make a turn, and just keep going. They don't even bother looking at the house. That's how bad the aesthetics are of just the view of what's going on over there. And then people do a little bit of research and find out a little bit of the background of some of the environmental issues we're still having. And that fill pile is still not at a place, I think, where it's safe yet, right?
Okay. Right.
It could take years. I mean, it took years to build it with a freight train of 18-wheelers coming in and out of the landfill center.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sure. Let me go over next steps with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially, what will happen is me and the board will deliberate, and for consideration and vote, you'll be notified by mail of our decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions are going to be made in March. And if your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If you are granted a reduction, you cannot appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take it to the next step by just appealing your decision in court. And instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Got it.
Any questions or anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming down. I'll definitely deliberate with the board. We're all advocates for the town and advocates for you guys, so I mean, we're here.
Yeah, I'm surprised nothing happened from the preliminary hearing, and maybe that's why there's so many people filtering through here, right? It feels like maybe they just sent out a form letter saying, oh yeah, well, if you want, come back in for a hearing, and maybe they figure maybe we'll lose 30% of the people that went to the preliminary hearing.
Yeah.
But this is just so important, and you could. Brenda knows me and my wife, Bettina, personally now because, just all the times that we've been rallying the troops down there in Long Beach. I just hate to see something like this go, without notice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, to think that my house would be valued at that with all the issues that are going on with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming down.
All right.
I'll definitely present to the board, and
Cool.
then you'll get notified by mail next month.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care. Okay. it was, it's like right when I said his name, it's like you immediately recognized it. And if you can sit right there.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
The phone is on and being recorded. It's open to the public. Things like that.
No problem.
Thank you.
I think you want this, no?
I do. Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
Change my glasses here for a minute so I can see this.
No worries. Welcome. My name is Ramneek Patel. I'm one of the 9 members of the board, and I'm going to hear your appeal today.
Okay.
Your hearing is being recorded and open to the public.
Yep.
Just stating a few things for this appeal. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything. So your appeal number is 077.
Yep.
Your property address is 76 Alden Street.
Alden.
Alden, thank
Yep.
you. And you are the owner of the property, John Corrin.
Correct.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
And the town has your property appraised at $535,700.
Yep.
And you are appealing for $400,000.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. And then for the swearing, if you can just raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Perfect. And if you can just sign this for the appeal. For the, thank you. And we're adding these documents to the record.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, great. So here's your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st should be $535,700, and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home would most likely have been sold for on that date. And please try to be as succinct as possible.
I'll try. 19 days after the cutoff date, the house next door to us sold. I know this does not have a bearing, but it should reflect a little bit in the fact that it sold. It had an additional bathroom and it was renovated for $411,000.
Okay.
It's an identical house, updated, where ours is not updated. Ours was built in 1920, and I welcome an inspector to come inside.
Okay.
Okay? So the house next door sold for $411,000 on town records. It had an additional bathroom, updated kitchen, and air conditioning.
Okay.
Neither of that we had. Now, what is germane to this are the following things that are within the right time frame.
Yeah.
76 Alden is our house.
Yep.
163 Alden, and it's in your documents there.
Yep.
Sold for $489,000, far superior house. It has 2 bathrooms. Both bathrooms have been updated in 2020. It has a newer furnace and has air conditioning. We do not.
Okay.
51 Shoreham Terrace is slightly bigger.
Yeah.
It has 3 bedrooms as opposed to our 2. 2 bathrooms, completely updated, new appliances, new furnace, new air conditioning.
Yep.
Sold for $490,000 on 6/19/20. Do I need to give you those dates? I think you have it.
I have it here. 619. Yeah.
43 Shoreham Road, 3 bedrooms, 1 more than ours, additional bathroom, slightly larger, central air, granite counters, great landscaping. Sold for $450,000.
Okay.
Superior house. 558 South Pine Creek, and this is all within the same area.
Yeah.
Has 4 bedrooms, same amount of bathrooms. However, it has central air, updated, and floors were refinished, sold for $450.
And that what you think is the most similar? 558?
Well, I think it is the most similar, yes.
Okay.
But again, it's not apples to apples because they
Of
have
course.
2 additional bedrooms.
Yeah, 4 bedrooms, right.
561 South Pine Creek, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So it's an additional bedroom and an additional bathroom. It is larger by 250 square feet, more or less. It's built in 1981 as opposed to a 1920 construction.
Yep.
Freshly redone, refinished floors, and has an exterior irrigation system. $475. 375 South Pine Creek has 3 bedrooms, which is 1 additional to ours,
Yeah.
and 2 more bathrooms. 2 more.
Okay.
And it has also, again, over 250 square feet more. Air conditioning, new appliances, new furnace. Way superior to ours.
Take a look at your field card really quick. And the only renovations you made in the past 5 years would have been the roof, right?
Correct. We couldn't get it insured.
Okay.
Now, there are 2 discrepancies here that I think that on the card itself, which I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It says here, which I'm not reading, listen, I'm not an expert on this.
Yeah.
It says includes lot 576. What does that mean? This is a double lot? I don't think so.
No.
The second thing, it says that we paid $475 when we bought it. We clearly did not.
So on the sale price, you did not pay $475?
No. Irrespective of that, all these prices here, better homes with more bathrooms, more bedrooms, have sold for lower than what the town is appraising us.
What did you end up buying the house for?
$390.
$390?
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring that up too, so we can correct whatever we need to correct. So I'll have to ask about including lot 576 because there's no additional lot that we're including, because we have your land at 435, or well appraised. That's at 304. Because we're looking at your land at 7,500 square feet. Is that accurate, or?
I have no idea. What do you think that is? 7,500
Think
square
about
feet?
like 0.17 of an acre.
That's probably right.
Okay. Because that's what I'm thinking includes lot 576. But,
Well, including lot means there's another building lot there,
right,
and there isn't.
right.
The space may be right, but there is no other building lot there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not an exchangeable currency then, right?
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add to the record?
That's it.
And then for these comparables, I have them here. And so I do have the cards for each of the houses, making sure.
I can give you another copy if you need it.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
So let me go over next steps with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be presenting your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions are going to be made in March. And if your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If you were granted a reduction, and you cannot appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps in your appeal in court. Instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Great.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you
Thanks
for
a lot.
coming down.
You bet.
Of
Thank
course. We're all volunteers, so we want to.
Yeah.
We're all here to help
What a
you
job.
guys out.
What a job. I'm glad you're volunteering. See ya.
Of
Thanks
course.
a lot.
Take care.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye.
Maybe I'll be lucky, well, I don't know if you'll be there for it. Yeah, good, good, ready to go. And I said, maybe, when I see you feel, I don't know if you do that or not, we. Robert Anderson. I do. I decided. How are you? Well, thank you for hearing my appeal.
Of course. And you sit right next to her.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
sorry.
Yes, my
Oh
apologies.
my gosh, you broke my nose.
Okay, perfect. You can sit there. And this is being recorded, by the way, which is why we have that phone there.
Okay.
So if you do speak, or when we do speak, just make sure it's loud and clear
Oh, sure.
through the mask.
Yes.
And your name?
I'm Ailey, A-I-L-I. DIBONAVENTURA. I'm going to just walk over and slide you I'm a real estate appraiser.
Oh, got it. Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Okay, perfect. All right. Perfect. And thank you for coming. My name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and your appeal is being recorded. And just to verify a few things, correct me if I'm wrong, your appeal number is 270.
Correct.
Your property address is 1019 Reef Road, and you are the property owner of this
Yes.
address?
Yes.
And the town has your property appraised for $529,900, and you're requesting the town reduce your appraisal to $300,000.
Correct.
Okay, great. And do you solemnly swear, or raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Did she give you something to sign? Brilliant. If you can just sign that.
Okay.
Thank you. It's just saying that before you went.
And am I dating the whole thing, or are you doing that?
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Brilliant. So, this is kind of your opportunity to present a testimony as why you believe the market value of your house on October 1st, 2020 was $300,000 and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home would most likely be sold for at that time. Please try to be as succinct as possible.
And can I speak for her?
Of course.
I know you do want to, why don't you tell them the background of the home first,
Okay.
and then I'll do the value part.
Okay.
Perfect.
The house, the cottage, was purchased by my in-laws
Okay.
in the 40s,
Yeah.
and they lived there. My husband grew up there.
Yeah.
My husband and I inherited the house.
Okay.
I just recently lifted it. As a matter of fact, I was out of it for 2 years because of Storm Sandy.
Yeah.
So we do end up in floods down there, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
Do you have pictures of them? I printed out. I don't know if they gave you the one.
I have black and white.
I'll bring you the
photos.
colors.
Perfect.
You can keep it.
Okay, great.
That's
Thank you.
the subject.
And I'll add this to the record as well. Okay. Got it. And you replaced the roof because of Sandy in 2018, right?
replaced
The roof, I believe it was.
the roof had storm damage shortly after Sandy.
Okay.
So it needed to be replaced.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just saw that on your field card. That's why I was just for $48,000. Okay.
So, you lifted it and replaced the roof, but if you look at the interior photos that I've just given you,
Yep.
It's pretty much still a beach bungalow house. She offsets her heating bill by a wood stove because it's so poorly insulated. I mean, appraisal talk, I assume you must be in real estate because you're in this position.
Yeah.
The quality of construction is like a C5 if you're going to do UAD standards, or just, poor quality of construction.
Yeah.
Even though the house was lifted. But we feel that the assessed value went from 261 to 370, which puts a fair market value of 529.9 on it.
You said 370?
Yeah. And the comps I utilized on the grid, I tried to, bracket the square footage, do some for similar locations, and I gave the adjustments where necessary for, locational differences, because it's hard to bracket a small square footage house like that.
Right.
With one bedroom.
Right.
And one bath. And the other thing is, she's right near the dump
and the fire training school.
Yeah.
And if you look, I have some pictures of the view. She's looking right over there.
Yeah.
I'm sure noise. The school buses are going right to that stop sign every day. The big transfer trucks that are going, you know, they're J-braking. And noise and traffic is a consideration.
Right.
You know, I know mass valuation is an art, not a science. And, you know, I think she just got swept up in the Reef Road sales that happened in the data collection period, and those are the properties. And you can tell that last one I wrote under it, it had last sold for,
yeah. 425.
Right, which, you know, take 70% off 425, or, you know, that's still less than what you guys have us at. And I did some tear down sales during the data collection period.
Okay.
So they're not, you know, there's no perfect comp here, but
right.
You know, those certainly, sorry, Joe, you know, the house is a tear down. And you have wetlands, there's a note on the field card if there's wetlands.
Yeah. And
it's a non-conforming parcel as well. You know, so you'd have to get a lot of variance. Not, you know, it's not a Roland Road. It's not a beach. It's not a Pilgrim. It's not a Puritan. It's, you know, on a heavy traffic road. And these are the comps, the pictures of the comps. Sorry, that one got cut off of my printer.
Oh, no, it's fine.
You know.
Do you have the age of this house? Because it's just cut off.
Yes, it would be on the grid. Oh, I have the grid. Sorry. Comp number 3. Comp number 3, that age is 67. We're 85.
Okay. I just want to fill that in because that was the part that was cut off.
Yeah, and Cummings, you know, I think that has locational issues, landfill issues similar, but doesn't have the traffic. But it would have the noise and landfill issues.
So
I also have on the grid Veris as Comp 4 and Comp 5 Pratt Street, and those were 326 and 374 when you adjusted them downward.
And then when you're looking at the recent sold on 836 Reef.
Yeah. I didn't even put it as a comp. I just put it in there with a picture so the reader could say, yeah. It doesn't even come in as a comp when you're doing the data collection because what's the square footage on that?
Right. 2737, right?
Right, and so you know, for appraisal, you need to go 20% above and 20% below. 20% above of 744 is like 1,100. I have my work file here. So that wouldn't even come up in the search perimeter. So because of the larger square footage. Because they're just so much more far superior.
Right. Sorry, I'm just taking some notes here.
Yeah. I've sat in your shoes. I know it's not easy.
Well, we're volunteer board members.
Right.
And so when we all deliberate together on decisions with this. So I do have these additional homes adding to the record.
Okay.
With the pictures of the house.
I know, and the kitchen is nothing to write home about. I mean, I really do feel it's a tear down, but a lot that's a non-conforming parcel and that's got external influences that are adverse, you know, traffic, noise, and wetlands. And what's the thing about you can only do, is it 45% of your value of your property if you do a renovation in the flood zone?
Yeah, I forget the exact percentage, but how much of the wetland is non-buildable? Like, they're all wetlands. So, what percent? So I'm looking at your field card, and I see that we have your land as 4,477 square feet. So it's about a tenth of an acre. Is that accurate?
I was that sounds about right. I mean, I don't, in all honesty,
Okay.
it's a,
And I think there should be a plot map attached to the appraisal that you have, not the one I just brought in. It would be after the grid and after the subject photos. Is there a plot map?
A bit. Yeah.
It should be after an aerial map. Maybe they didn't print it out.
In the field card. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. There's just something I noticed. Okay. Sorry. Anything else you'd like to add to the record for documents?
Nope. I think I've given you the color photos. You have the grid, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You definitely gave a good, compelling argument for me to present.
We were told that at our first appeal. We were feeling pretty good, but I said, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Yeah.
But, the law, everything in appraisal and real estate is the laws of substitution, and why would someone pay $596 or $530, let's round it up,
Yeah.
when you could buy those 3 on Reef Road for $100,000 more?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I bought a house that I fixed up in the past 2 years, so it's hard to find comparable sales in Fairfield for that.
Right. So, if you were to when I searched for comps, I did my 20% above, and on the high side, that would be 1,492 square feet. So that's why, those Reef Road comps don't even equate in square footage-wise.
Right.
And or lot size, design and appeal, or condition.
Right.
And, I understand Reef Road probably just got a multiplier, and I think she got swept in.
Right.
Because it has been merging and changing.
Right. Well, you definitely had some good, compelling arguments today. And let me just go over next steps with you. So I'll present your case, your petition, as a petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of decision. Decisions are going to be made in March. If your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If you are granted a reduction, you cannot appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take it to the next step and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter. All right? Thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Of course,
Thank you for your time.
We're here for you. We're all volunteers and we're all supportive
Yes, thank you for doing
thank
that.
you for, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'll add these for the record, and we'll let you know soon.
Yeah, are these old past, what do you call them, first
First
people?
select people.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
so
going
funny.
from 99 over.
Yeah, I know
They're
that guy
down.
with his thing over his shoulder, and I know Jackie.
I knew Jackie,
Yeah.
So wild.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You too. Take care. Hello.
Hello, Ronnie. How's it going?
Not bad.
Good. I believe you have a telephone?
Here at 6.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right.
for pointing that out.
Yes. I noticed that you have 2 back-to-back. Is it for the same?
And I have one at 8.
Okay. So when you get to those, use this phone for calling out.
Okay.
9, and then the number,
And speaker. So then the
and on the
microphone.
speaker. So that, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How's it going?
Okay, I did some this morning before Peter could get here from school, because he teaches.
Oh, nice.
And you're all hooked up and ready to go.
Nice.
Right?
I think so.
Okay, I think you've got it then. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, you can tell her to get them up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it. No, you don't apologize, just say it. No. I really appreciate you doing that. Then I can go home and have my dinner and take a shower and. Well, you should have. Did you get? Pardon? Well, I have a copy of it. I have a copy of everything I submitted. Yeah, that's what I submitted. I have it. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Well, why don't I have it right here? That would be a phrase for us. Yeah, you can answer it, then you can answer it. Hello, please. Wait a minute. Hello, please. 767 1733. And it is Joseph Anaya. Wait a minute. Wait till he was calling again. Let me call him. They'll recommend, well,
Where was that?
Right here.
Here, no, let's go. I'm good, I'm good.
All right, and the phone is here because this is all being recorded.
Sure.
If you could just slightly close the door a bit. Perfect. So welcome.
Thank you.
Of course. My name is Ronique Patel. I am one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today. Your hearing is being recorded. And so just want to confirm a couple of things on the recorded line.
Sure.
So your appeal number is 146.
Yes.
The property you're appealing is 85 Mona Terrace
Yes.
in Fairfield. And you both are the owners, Gary and Diane Camillo.
Yes.
Yes,
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
that's right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And the town has your property appraised at $529,100.
Yes.
And you're requesting that the town reduce your appraised value to $430,000.
Yes.
Okay, great. And did she give you a piece of paper downstairs?
Yes.
Perfect.
Is this,
Yep, so I'm just going to swear you in, and then you'll have to sign that.
okay?
So if you can raise your right arm, yeah, just one of you has to do it.
Oh, good.
Doesn't matter.
She's more trustworthy.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And if you can sign that and date it as well.
Okay, so just I sign that, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get, see, look at you passing the.
Oh,
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now is your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st should be $433,000 rather than what the town appraised it at. Market value is what your home would likely sold on that date, so please try to be as succinct as possible.
sure. Do you want to go first?
You go ahead and go first.
Our house is a very small cape,
Okay.
and it's a pretty small yard. And what the town approved was a gigantic house to go on our property line, and it destroyed our house.
Okay.
It basically destroyed our house, destroyed our view, destroyed our backyard. It's literally on the property line. Diane has pictures of it. It literally is, almost looks like an apartment house. And it ruined the value of our house as far as the beauty of our yard. We have gardens. And it really destroyed our yard.
So Gary obviously is a farmer. He's actually made a whole farm in our little tiny piece of property. So he's really upset about the outside. But what I think, we moved there in 1988, so that's the full length of our marriage.
Okay.
And raised 4 kids. We had Gary's grandparents there, and so we had a lot of people in that little house.
Yeah.
And I've lived in the town since 1959, so that's another thing. I'm a long-time resident.
Yeah.
So we bought it for $220,000, and the thing about it is we've never changed the footprint of the house.
Yeah.
So we've painted it, we've put in new floors.
Yeah.
We took out a wall, but never pumped out a wall or anything. It has no closet. It has 3 closets in the house to be exact. It just, and they're tiny. They're very small. The bathrooms are painted. One was upgraded. Everything else. I don't have marble or granite countertops or anything like that.
It's a very small cape.
It's really small. It hasn't been enlarged in any kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of shocking that they would up the value of our property. And now, as we're getting older here, it's really hard to keep it up. I'll tell you that. It's very hard to keep up with it because I'm 72 this month and still working to try to pay. You know what I mean? It just never goes. It never goes away.
And we'd like to stay where we are, but if you saw the house that they built next to us,
I'm going to show you pictures.
It's hard to
they
believe.
just did. It's on honestly, and I'm glad it's recording. It's heartbreaking. It's hard to imagine that the town allowed this to happen. So, here. And you can go back and forth. Ours is that little white house.
Okay.
And the neighborhood was like that. And they put those two houses right in a lot where there was one house.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so it's overshadowing us so much. It's shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. And it's heartbreaking, really.
Yeah.
No, I think it ruined the value of our house.
Well,
be
everybody
honest
says
with you,
it goes up, but not for us. You know what I mean? It's because we lived our life there. We lived our full married life there, and now we're like faced with this situation of, well, are we forced to leave? Where do we go? You know what I mean? We're being forced out of the town because the taxes are so high, and it just feels very harsh.
Yeah.
It feels very harsh for us.
Yeah, we all live in Fairfield too, and so it's wild. And I'm fairly a new resident, so about 2 years now when I bought my house, and it's just so crazy how much has changed, and I've heard stories about how much has changed in the past decade.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot. And unfortunately not for the better.
Listen, since we never, Gary had his own small yard maintenance business. I've been a teacher in a Catholic school. Yeah. For many years now. I'm just one-on-one teaching students, but we've never made a ton of money. It's a different town now.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing for us to try to live out our life in the place that we've really had our life with these kind of burdens.
Yeah.
It's really burdensome.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So.
Anything else you'd like to add to the record for documents?
I know. The interest is in the value of the property, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I would just say that
the only documents we have are we had gotten a person to an appraisal.
Which I think
yes, I saw the appraisal.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So that's what we did. We tried to do that. He made comparisons in the neighborhoods and things like that.
Comparison to other properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to know, it's not a grandiose thing. I mean, I would always say, who's going to buy a house with no closets, no storage space, and I think that will be a little bit of a tough sale, to tell you the truth.
Well, especially what's next to us. I would say if that house was not next to us, I would probably be okay with every house being like that, or obviously some houses are going to be knocked down because they're deteriorated, but to put two gigantic houses on a property that had one house on it, and it's really literally feet from our yard. It's really disgusting.
Right.
It's hard to believe it was allowed.
Right.
That's the value.
We honestly have people will stop on the street and go to the corner where I took the picture and take pictures because they can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, I've had builders come over and say they can't believe it.
They're standing there taking pictures going, we can't believe this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad that the town has let it happen. I don't know. No one asked us. There was no meetings. There was nothing that we.
Well, unless we
maybe
don't
it was
know
because
about
of,
that.
or maybe it was because of COVID. There was no meetings, but to see the size of this house, that didn't have to be this big. I understand they have to be raised for flood, but the house is gigantic.
Yeah.
So I mean that's really that's what we have.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So what? Yeah.
No, you guys gave some really compelling arguments. I have your appeal here, or the appraisal here. And for next steps, I present your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. And so you'll be notified by mail by our decision within 7 days, and decisions are going to be made in March. And if your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If you were granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next step and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
thanks for
You've been
listening.
very nice, thank you.
Yeah, of course. We're all volunteers, and we're on the board, so we're doing our part to help the town out.
So you must be getting millions of people coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's re-eval time. I'm a temporary member for this year because of that reason.
Oh, so are board members elected?
Appointed.
Appointed by the first selectman?
From the board and various groups, but yeah. But I'm just temporary for this year.
Okay.
But
generally, the board of the zoning board members are elected members, or?
I believe, I don't know about zoning. I think
Well,
they're also
probably planning and zoning probably is, I
Is
think.
this
I think
zoning?
so.
Is this zoning or this is tax?
appeals.
Appeals.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Where do you live in town?
I bought one of those tiny houses on Bronson.
Bronson.
I used
Yeah,
to
they
live
fixed it up.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good for
Where are you
you.
from
Yeah.
originally?
I grew up all over the place, or I grew up in Connecticut, in the northeast corner in Torrington, but then I lived in LA, lived in Australia, lived all over.
Really?
Wow.
Torrington's nice.
Yeah. It's changed over the years, but yeah.
Everything's changing, but not like this town is changing like ultimate.
Oh,
Thank
I know.
you very much.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
You guys take care. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Leave it open?
Yes, please. Thank you.
And, I didn't know. Anyway, Kevin,
Nice
and
to meet
Kathleen,
you. I know. Great. I look
I
forward to seeing
thank
you
you so
sure.
much.
See you around. I didn't leave you. And we do have, I don't know how old you are. I'm not going to say something about that. But we do have two discussions now.
Well, I'm gonna be,
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Not bad.
Back around soon?
Oh, yeah. I actually came back this time. I don't think we need a separate recording, it's just going to up the spelling, you know, you can just say, what enough, I got my papers, but I will, there's one that I took out that I didn't have, so that's on the recording. Yeah. Got my bill, my
Testing. 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 There we go.
The call cannot be completed as
Hello, this is Don.
Hi, Don. This is Ronique with the Town of Fairfield for Board of Assessments. How are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Is now a good time to chat about your appeal?
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that this is being recorded and it's open to the public. And so I have you on speakerphone for a conference call.
Okay, great.
Thank you for your time today. My name is Ronique Patel. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and your hearing is being recorded, like I said. And to verify a few things with you, your appeal number for this appeal is 614. The property you are appealing is 45 Mona Terrace, and the town has your property assessed, and you believe that the fair market value should be $430,000. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, great. And you are the owner of this property at 45 Mona Terrace, correct?
That is correct.
All right, great. Thank you. Even though this is over the phone, this may seem a little silly, but I have to swear you in. So if you raise your right hand, and I'll say, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. So I have your documents here, and so this is the opportunity to kind of give you a chance to say what you need to before I present to the board. And I have your documents, and you can start whenever.
Well, the reason I was putting forth the appeal was when I got my assessed value, it seems like it had gone up quite a bit over the 5 years. So I rolled the dice, and I had an appraiser come out and do an appraisal. He came back with a fair market value of $430,000, which, correct me if I'm wrong, you would then take 70% of that to determine the assessed value?
Exactly, yes.
And that would then be $301,000, but the assessed value, based on the documentation I received earlier in the year, said that the assessed value was $360 some odd thousand. So that was the basis of my appeal. I'm just going off of the appraisal I had done.
Okay. All right. So I do have your appraisal here, your private appraisal report that you submitted with your documentation.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just looking up, and there was a few comparable sales in this as well. So we have 50 Geneva, 558 North Pine. Okay. And we have a total valuation of $522,400. Is that correct?
Correct. I guess that would be it based on the assessed value that you provided me.
Okay. And this value would be as of October 1, and so that would be the market value, what it would be selling at that price. So based on your assessment, you believe it should be $430,000. Outside of this appraisal, did you have any other comparable sales, or are we going to go off the comparable sales on the appraisal?
I just have the ones that are on the appraisal.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking at the comparable sales. So we have 50 Geneva, close to your square footage. And what I do is I basically gather information from you, and then I present to the board, and then we all vote together. So any kind of information you can give to me to present to the board would be really helpful, so then I can just build a case for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're all volunteers, board members, and so we're just kind of helping out the public, and so we're not assessors, but we certainly just want to make sure that you have your fair voice out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, looking at your field card. Okay. So based off the appraisal, you're just saying because it was appraised for $430, it should be lowered to the $430, and based on the comparable sales on the appraisal report, which are between $378 and $434, you believe it should be lowered.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I know the reason it first started, I think a lot of people in my neighborhood were upset with their assessed value. So, I know there are a couple other people who were doing appeals, but that's when sort of got the ball rolling. For me, I said, let me have an appraisal done. It cost like $350, but it was worth it just because it seemed like the assessed value had gone up quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, they have some good information on the appraisal, so that definitely is helpful for me to present. And is there anything else you would like to add to this appeal?
There really isn't. I'm just basing it on the appraisal.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a house that is going up, is being built right next to mine, a massive house, and that is on the market for $1.3 million. I don't know if that has a bearing on what the assessed value that you came up with, if that has any bearing on it, but that's the only thing I'd like to add.
Yeah, what's the sale price on that house again?
Yeah, I think it's on the market for $1.35 million. It was a double lot with a single home, and the lady who lived there passed away, and a builder bought the two lots. He's putting up two massive houses there.
Okay.
Yeah, not too happy about it, but
I know, especially the double lots. I live in Fairfield too, so I know what that feeling's like.
We have no sunlight or privacy anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, great. You shared some really compelling arguments here, especially now since I have your appeal here. So next steps, I'm going to be presenting your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of our decision within 7 days of the decision. All our decisions are going to be made in March. If your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If you were granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next revaluation in 5 years.
I understand.
If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Okay. That's fine. One question I have is if they look at my fair market value and what I'm saying it should be, do they either go with one or the other, or is there like maybe a situation where they would go have the assessed value
it could be higher than what your opinion could be, right? So if say for example it's 522 that we have assessed now, say for example they reduced it. It may not be reduced completely to your level, or it could be at your level. It's just sort of depends
I
on the
understand.
voting. Yeah.
That's the question I have, if they took an average of the two and then.
Right.
Okay. And what was your name again?
Of course. My first name is Ronik, R-O-N-E-K, last name Patel. I'm one of the board members. We're all volunteers, so we're all advocating for you guys.
Oh, great. So it's R-O-N-E-K?
Yes. Yep, my last name Patel.
And last name again?
Patel, P-A-T-E-L.
Okay, great. Terrific.
All right, Donald, any other questions or concerns for me?
No, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for presenting your information. I'll deliberate with the board, and you'll hear back from us.
Okay. Thanks, Ronnie.
Of course. You take care. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Hi.
I'm going to take 269 from you.
Okay.
I just took my mask off and realized.
It was fine. Yeah, she already told me.
Okay, but I want if I can grab your purple.
Oh, yeah.
I've got all of his type documents.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Here you are.
And Harold was late in his room. He was in a different room, and so I think that put Peter behind.
Okay.
So if you happen to be ahead and Peter is totally slumped.
Yeah.
Normally I don't move them around. I don't know if you guys have the same neighborhood tonight. Are you pretty much like?
I'm pretty caught up.
You've got Mona Terrace. You've got probably South Pine. What's the neighborhood?
I do have two Mona Terrace. Well, that was Mona Terrace, right?
Right. And I heard his other Mona Terrace earlier about the tear down. So
yeah.
I'm just looking to see what neighborhood. Do you know what neighborhoods we're working on?
Yeah. So right next I have College, Longdene, Reef.
Yeah, I had. So this must be. I'm just trying to see what the neighborhood code is on this area. 69. This neighborhood 69, which I think is Reef Road.
Yeah, I can probably if he gets too backed up.
I don't know if Peter's doing Reef or the beach.
his room is hot. He's got 2 people in there all the time.
Oh, really?
So I know, I feel bad. So if you
Oh,
happen
no.
to be ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no, of course, I should be. We had a pretty good rhythm going for a bit.
Yeah, you're spot on in it. As you know, if they understand what they're really supposed to come in for, it goes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
When they have difficulty or, have
My-
a lot, 100 pages. I had a 100-page one today, and I was just like, I just can't read.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So.
Yeah, in 15 minutes.
Yeah. I know. I was going to go to Staples on my way home and get one of those little clocks.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they see the clock.
Right, it's a good idea.
You would call it, but just, in
Yeah.
my head, at least I do the math. If I know I have 15 minutes and it says 6:10,
Yeah.
I'm going to start to feel uncomfortable in my seat when I get there.
Yeah, and plus, like, when people are sitting and they look at the clock and then they're like, oh, they remind themselves.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, totally.
It's not a negative. It's just,
Yeah.
with many, we need to pay attention.
Totally. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Ronique Patel with the town of Fairfield. Is this Israel Hirsch?
Yes, speaking.
Oh, hi. Is this a good time for your appraisal?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
Great. Thank you. I just want to let you know this is being recorded and is open to the public. And just to let you know, my name is Ronique Patel. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeals today, and your hearing is being recorded.
Sure.
To verify a few things, I have your appeal number as 47. The property you're appealing is located at 140 College Place. And the town has your property assessed at $510,500, and you are appealing it for $400,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Israel Hirsch. You are the owner of the property at 140 College Place. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And I know we're doing this over the phone, so it may seem a little funny, but if you can just raise your right arm for me, I'm going to swear you in. And
sure.
So do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Great. Thank you so much. And so I have your documents here. This is your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1, 2020 it should be $400,000 and not the value assigned to the town. Market value is what your home would most likely be sold for on that date, so please be as succinct as possible.
Yeah, so basically I used the Vision site.
Yep.
The company did evaluation. And I followed the guidance how to do a search. I searched other homes in my neighborhood.
Yep.
And I identified similar homes in size, more or less, and I was looking specifically for homes that sold in the last year, right?
Okay.
I didn't want to look beyond that because I wanted to be as close as possible to where we are now.
Okay.
And I listed those properties in the petition. I have them as reference properties. One of them is 360 Very Street.
Yep.
The next one is 770 Reef Road.
Yep.
The next one is 251 Oldfield Road. And the next one is 214 Olden Street. They're all in my neighborhood.
Okay.
It's the designated neighborhood.
Okay.
As per the Vision site.
Okay.
And you can see, if you have the document in front of you, or should I read it to you?
I have the document in front.
Okay, so you can see that 360 Very Street is appraised at very similar to my property, 510.
Yep.
It was last sold in 2019. That still falls into the base period of this valuation.
Yeah.
It was sold at 460.
Okay.
And you can see I put in the living area and the land size, which are much larger than mine.
Okay.
The land size is 3 times the size of my land size. Then you look at 7070 Reef. It was appraised at 542. It was sold last year in June at 400. And again, it's 2.5 the size of my land, and also probably 30% larger in living area.
And that's Reef Road, right?
That is the Reef Road. And then you look at 251 Oldfield Road. You see appraisal very similar to mine. That one was sold last November at 428. And again, larger living area and land size, probably 2.2 my land size.
Okay.
And then you see the fourth one, appraisal 484, 400, and it was sold at 911 last year at 450. Again, larger living area, 3 times the size, 2.6 the size of my land. So that, based on this research that I did, and based on the difference in living area and land size, I came up with this number. Obviously, it's up to you to decide if 400 is the right number or not, but it's based on the sale price of those properties that I mentioned.
Okay. No, I see all the...
I was trying to be as short and to the point.
No, I appreciate it. And you have some good documents here to kind of go over the comparable sales, so we appreciate it. You definitely have some good, compelling thoughts here. Anything else you would like to add to the appeals today?
Yeah, so I can say I bought it in 2016, so it's completely out of the range of the period of this assessment. And
yeah.
I paid. I don't remember. Hold on, let me see. I paid $525.
Right.
And I can say, hindsight, I paid too much. It was a very small inventory. I was looking for a rental property, and I found this one. And like I said, I paid too much, but you can see from the other references what was the price that people paid for them recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're familiar with College Place, but one side is a condo, and the other side is similar homes to mine.
Yep.
And it's like a marsh area. It's rental. It's students. It's noisy. It's not something many people want to buy.
Okay.
So I am falling in an area that I don't want to be misconstrued as a beach area. I don't really consider it a beach area because it has nothing, doesn't feel like any other home at the beach area.
Okay. Right.
So I follow the common sense here, and I looked at the neighborhood that I'm designated, and that's why I came up with these references. They are part of the neighborhood when you do the search.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, you definitely gave some good, compelling arguments here. I'll let you know of next steps. So I will be presenting your petition to a majority of the board at a deliberation hearing for us to all to consider and vote. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of a decision. All decisions are going to be made in March. If your appeal was denied, you can come back next year. If you're granted a reduction, you cannot appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter. Any other questions?
No, I really appreciate it, Robbie.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for your time today, and good luck. Take care.
Take care.
All right.
Thanks for calling me.
Of
Bye.
course. Thank you. Bye. Kathy, I have a question. Yeah. So there was another appeal on this one, which is not part of it. It's just the next one. So this one's appeal number 258. This one's appeal 257.
So that means that one's missing from 258. You know what, did it say that address or, yeah,
704 Stratfield
road?
Right.
Okay, that's the property address, so we're not doing that neighborhood and for like 2 more weeks.
Okay.
So if you just give it to Michelle downstairs, tell her it was in the wrong folder, it's probably missing from the.
Okay.
Or else they realize they didn't, that's what happens, they don't know where it is until someone opens it up and they're like, oh.
Right. This one's not here.
You can see what shows up, I mean, there's only so much you can do with paperwork, right?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
the right sign file, so.
Yeah.
And Michelle works in the office, so she should be able to take that and figure out where it goes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Okay, perfect. You can see right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I take my jacket off.
Yes, that's totally fine. Okay.
I'm pretty safe. I got second Madonna
Oh, yeah?
shot, yes.
Oh.
2 weeks ago was the last one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting my second one in 2 weeks. I work at Pfizer
Oh, yes?
for my regular job.
Yeah.
So I'm in the vaccine division.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So welcome. My name is Ronique Patel. I'm one of the 9 board members serving on the assessment appeals.
Yes.
I'm going to hear your appeals today. It's being
Okay.
recorded and to the public, so that's why we have these phones here.
Okay.
Just adjust.
English.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it slow too, and
Okay,
just whenever we speak, it would just have to be kind of loud.
Oh, okay.
Just so the phone can pick it up,
Okay.
because it is open to the public. It's
To the public, yes?
yeah, but no, whatever.
Somebody is listening?
Yeah.
Yes.
It depends. They can. It's certainly
Okay.
open, right?
Okay, I sign it, please.
Great. Thank you.
I'm
Perfect. I
not
appreciate it.
pretty sure what I have to sign here.
Nope. I'll just
Nothing,
take care of that.
that's it, yeah?
Yep. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Just to verify a few things.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your full name?
Full name?
Yeah.
Last name, you mean?
First name and last.
Oh, Mirosław
Yep.
Skazinski.
Skazinski. And you are the property owner at 165 Longdean Road?
Yes, correct.
And we're appealing appeal number 257.
Yes, correct.
And the town has your house appraised at $508,000,
Yes, correct.
and you are requesting appeal for $450,000. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And just have to swear you in, which is what this is for.
Yes,
If you could just raise your right hand.
yes.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So, I'm one of 9 board members. We're all volunteers. We're here as advocates for you guys, and so anything you give to me is what I present to the board for a deliberation hearing. So it's now your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value on October 1, 2020 was $450,000 and not the value assessed by the town. Market value is what your home would likely be sold for on that day. So please try to be as clear as possible.
Okay, I have just 15 minutes, yes?
15.
Will be less. Can I start?
Yes,
okay. Please. The new assessed value of new revaluation is higher, 51,730 compared to 2015 revaluation assessed value.
Yep.
I checked out quite often the real estate market, and I think the value of my house is lower than you estimate.
Yep.
I think it's 450, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean 100% of it, 450,000.
Yep.
And my neighbor house.
Yep.
I would like to talk about 2 houses. My neighbor house is 170 Longdon Road, which is close of my house.
Yep.
On the same street. Assessed value is lower, about 1,000 or even more than my house new assessed value. And I want to give you example. Compare my house with 2 neighbors' houses, 170 Longdon Road and 162 Longdon Road.
Okay.
My reason for appeal is most that fact that my house is much smaller to compare to my neighbors' houses.
Okay.
In spite of this, my assessed value is higher for many years since 2006 even.
Right.
And I have now compared 3 houses. My house has 1246 square feet.
Yeah.
My neighbor house, 170 Longdon, has 1456 square feet. And 162 Longdon Road, another neighbor, has a house 1356 square feet.
Okay.
The first house is 210 square feet bigger than mine.
Right.
Second one is 110 square feet bigger than mine.
Right.
Talking about deck, I have deck 10 by 10. My neighbor from 170 Longdon has 2 levels deck, twice bigger. And 162 Longdon Road, much bigger than mine.
Right.
I have 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
My 2 neighbors, they have 4 bedrooms, and second neighbor 4 bedrooms too. And very big, I think, the basement. I have cross basement. The 2 neighbors, they have full basement unfinished, I think, both of them. And my driveway is cracked. From downstairs cracked and crooked, and I have the picture. If I would like to.
Yeah, I can submit that into record. Yep.
Yes, sir. This is the. Sorry,
oh, you're fine.
my stairs is cracked here, cracked here. It's completely should be removed because it's just cracked. I try to repair, but it's
okay.
No way. My driveway looks like this.
Okay.
It's terrible. Like this and like this.
Okay.
And talk about basement, because basement looks like 70% of my basement is high, 51 to 54.
Okay.
And from the stairs you can walk to the boiler hot water heater, just 64, 63 inches. Inches, yes.
Okay.
And this picture I gave you view from if you go back from here, you can see. From here, if you go from here, where it's 54 inches, you can see like low is.
Right.
And another one is if you go just straight to the boiler hard water heater.
Right.
It's really very low. You have to practically you cannot walk here. You have to just
right.
Even you walk to the boiler, you have to.
Okay.
I have many bumps on my head.
Okay. I know. I have a cross face too. You. I hit my head on my pipes as well.
Yeah. And practically that's it, sir. And I could say one word. I kindly ask you to consider my appeal again.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'm just going to make a few notes about this, the driveway and
Yes.
the basement too. Okay.
And probably, sir, you have you have this paper, which I sent, because you can compare or from 2006. This is from 2006. The houses are much bigger than mine. 1456, and the value, assessed value, was 394. My house even smaller. 4010.
Okay.
And another house also, 2 houses. You have this, yeah? And 162 is also 100 square feet bigger. And the value was from 2006 also much higher, was 393. My house 410.
Okay. So
many years, but to make my American dream, I was working 7 by 4. Really. Sometimes I was coming home because I used to work as a driver.
Yeah.
I was coming home about midnight, and my next job was 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I said, should I go sleep? No, just drink coffee and wait for many times.
Jeez.
I'm a musician, but to make...
Oh, are you?
Yes, I have recording studio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In town?
No, I just home recording studio, but really I have very serious stuff.
Yeah.
My passion is...
Oh, it's really cool.
Really. I have contact with some recording studio in the West Coast, in New York City. I'm doing some mixing.
Yeah.
Like mixing engineer.
Yeah.
Because when I came to the United States, because my wife, she born on 4th of July, we had an interview in Munich.
Yeah.
In Germany.
Yeah.
In American consulate. They asked, ma'am, what day did you born? 4th of July.
Yeah.
They said, okay, that's it. You should be American citizen. That's why I came here with my wife and my daughter.
Oh, wow.
It's a real story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was funny, but we were very lucky because this time when I came, like I could say almost 40 years ago, it was very tough to get an immigration visa to come to the United States.
I know, same with my parents too.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
May I ask you from where they came?
India.
Oh, from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's not easy.
No, luckily we're all citizens, but it's so wild. I was born in the States.
The States, yeah.
But all 3 of my sisters and my parents were born in India.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about next steps.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to present your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote, so we're all going to vote.
Yes.
You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision within 7 days of the decisions. All decisions are going to be made in March.
Okay.
If your appeal is denied, you can come back again next year. If you're granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years.
Yes.
If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal your decision in court. And instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
I could tell you, sir, that I appeal. Yeah. I agree with court now.
Yeah.
No problem. What happened, happened.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just came. We bought this house in 1991.
Oh, really?
Yes, pretty long time ago.
Yeah.
Where do you live, sir?
I live on Bronson Road, Wilburn. I just bought my house about 2 years ago.
I had doctor appointment from with my thyroid. This gentleman is from India. He's a very nice gentleman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, many doctors, good doctors from India.
Yeah.
I know. I always trust.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, thank you very much. It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Sorry for my language.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine.
Still,
Yeah.
Really, I didn't have time to go to learn just because my daughter, she graduated University of Pennsylvania. She was in the good school.
Yeah.
Now she's translator.
Oh, wow.
She's doing translating for maybe many languages. She has own business on the internet.
Yeah.
She has maybe 100 translators from all the world.
Wow.
She knows speak very well English. Okay, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure. Of course. You take care.
Thank you very much, sir.
Likewise. Thank you. We're all the way down the hall, too. Here. And the reason why we have these phones here is because it's being recorded and it's available to the public as well.
Oh, you mean all the recordings are online?
Yes.
That's too funny. So I have to sign this in front of you?
Yes, if you don't mind. Thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm going to also give you this.
Perfect.
Have my copy.
And I'll add these to the record as well. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay, perfect. Welcome.
How are you?
Good. My name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and your hearing is being recorded, so when you speak, just make sure it's loud and clear. Just to confirm a few things, your appeal number is 200. The property you are appealing is located at 415 Reef Road.
417.
417, my apologies. And you are the owner of this property?
Correct.
Your name is Constantine, how do you pronounce your name?
Constantina.
Constantina.
Cara George.
Thank you. And the town has your property appraised for $502,600, and you are requesting the town reduce your appeal to $340,000. Is that correct?
To that.
Okay, definitely. So if you can raise your right hand for me for the swearing. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
So help me God.
Thank you. So now's your opportunity to provide testimony as why you believe the market value of your house on October 1, 2020 was $340,000 and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home most likely would have been sold on that date. So please try to be as distinct as possible.
Sure. I submitted also the analysis that I gave you on page 2 there.
Yep.
But also I have a competitive market analysis done by a licensed realtor, James George.
Okay.
And as you can see, there are 3 properties within half a mile
Yep.
of my property. And these are all on side streets.
Okay.
And they are comparable prices, as you can see in the condition. There's a column there that says condition.
Yep.
And I put, the pluses and minuses of how they compare to my property. But if you just take the average square foot.
Yep.
Because I know how they do an overall sweep.
Yeah.
But if you take the average square foot, which is $269 a square foot.
Yep.
Which these numbers, the average square feet, are based on higher square footages than mine.
Okay.
As you see underneath where it says close counting, it says averages and median.
Yep.
I have the arrows there for you.
Yep.
The average square foot of these 3 properties are 1,376, and the median square footage is 1,464, whereas mine is only 1,092.
Okay.
So I'm even giving the benefit, I'm marking myself higher because here you have the average square foot at a higher price per square foot. Mine comes out to be $293,923, and the median square footage again at a higher square foot value was calculated comes out to be $272,257.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Times it by my square footage. So the average sale closed is $360, and the median sale closed is $360 of those houses that are on side streets within a half mile of my house. But 417 is on a busy main road.
Yeah.
And which is valued less. And I should say it's right next door to apartment buildings.
So your house is on a busy road.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And I forgot to say it's next to an apartment building.
Okay. And then
so that's why I feel the value should be $340 or less. Because as I said, based on just the square footage, at the higher square footages of the median average and averages of those other houses,
right.
I'm giving more, which is $293,000 and $272,000. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I'm just making some notes here.
Sure.
So then your average square foot is $293 on this appraisal, and you're saying the average around theirs is $269. And then your square foot.
Say this again?
Your home, you have it here on your notes. Square footage
is 1,092.
1,092. Got it. Okay.
See that 269 number?
Yep.
If you go along, it says averages.
Yep.
And the average square foot of those 3 houses that sold were 1,376.
Right.
So I took that 269 and I times it by my square footage.
Right.
1,092, which equals 293,923.
Okay.
You see?
I see what you're saying. So you do that. Okay.
Yeah, and then the median square footage is 249 of those 3 properties.
Right.
And you see that median square footage is even higher at 1,464, whereas mine is only 1,092, comes out to be 272,257.
I see this. Okay.
So those three properties, I couldn't find anything that sold on Reef Road. So those are the in my immediate market area.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, Reef Road is a busy main road. There's tractor trailers that go down to the, dump. I already had one of those tractor trailers hump my property and took down a tree.
Oh boy.
Good thing no one was walking.
Yeah. All right. So I understand correctly. The average of the square foot would be 293. The median square
Wait,
feet.
the average of the the purchase price.
Got it.
The value, I'd say, is 293,000. You can
Okay.
you can say 294.
Yeah. And also on the documents that you sent in, so you had comparables as well. Are they the same? 190, 173, 85, 401. Okay.
Yeah, that 401 on Oakfield Road.
Yeah.
That's a colonial. You can see in the comp that I gave, the breakdown.
Yep.
The two, Blaine and Cummings are both Capes, and Oakfield Road is a colonial.
Yep.
And it's, let's just say, like I did with my other property, I gave two, that were succinct, and then one on the high side, which it sold for $365. Do you see what I'm saying? The largest one that sold. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Oldfield.
So I shouldn't even have been close to 500,000.
Okay. Is Oldfield the most comparable to your house?
No, I would say,
Or what would you say the most comparable would be?
I mean, here's the one that I would see. I was trying to look at them both. As far as rooms, is the one on Cummings, which is 1,075.
Yeah.
But they have an additional full bath. I only have one bath.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, you can minus, $5,000 for a bathroom.
And 85 Cummings is at 360.
360, right. But, and again, that's on a side street.
Right.
Resident, See, those two are Capes, the first two.
Right. Yeah, I noticed in the pictures.
Yeah. And I put, the kitchens, the other ones were updated.
Okay.
I used to be a realtor for 30 years.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. And we're all volunteer board members, so what we do is we all meet together and we put together all the assessments and we decide together.
Yeah, because basically this is what was going on in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were talking about they want, the pandemic and the prices are going up. But this is even in the here's May, July, and if it was in the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah, these people that were coming in didn't want these peddly capes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and my house has no updates. And you can see there I have the original kitchen, I have the original bathroom. I just keep my properties clean.
Right. Do I have your card in here? Yeah, so the land is what we have appraised at 426, and then the dog is up at 76 for. Okay. Anything else you would like to add to the record?
No, I mean, they praise the lot at 426. I mean, that's not a viable lot as far as for desirable.
Mhm.
It's on Reef Road. It's right across the street from those brick condos,
Right.
and it's a corner lot, so there's a lot of there's no privacy.
Right.
So it's not a 426 lot at all.
Okay.
I mean, I sold just on Pratt Street. Was it in 2019? Yeah, on Pratt Street, 161 Pratt Street, for $450.
Yeah.
And that had a 2-car garage. It was a similar lot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are commanding on the side streets.
Yeah.
More. But I mean, you can even see this on Blaine and Cummings.
Yeah.
They're in the 300s. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So the lot value, let's just say, forget about the houses because they're comparable, or
Right.
even the one on Oldfield at 365.
Right.
With the lot.
Right.
If they're all fixer-uppers and someone wants to tear them down.
Right.
It's nothing for them to knock down that house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no value there.
Right.
So let's just say the lot is $365, but they're going to pay, someone $15,000 to knock it down, or to get the fire department to come and do a, I'm thinking in Greek now, like a training.
Oh,
that
yeah.
They do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know the whole area is so wild. There's so much happening. Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because I always tell, growing up there with my daughter, I mean, some of the people have like a pompous attitude, like, they're in the beach area, but I was like, hold on to your hat, because every so many years, other areas become desirable, and anyway, I don't know how long you've lived in this town.
I bought my house 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of new to town.
Oh, okay. Were you in this area?
I grew up in Torrington, and then I lived all over the place. Yeah.
Torrington's lovely.
Yeah, I grew up there. Then I lived in LA, lived in Australia. I lived all over the place.
Wow, what made you come to Fairfield?
It's close to New York City. It's close to the water. I like kayaking a lot, so I love this area. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's the whole thing. It's it's easily accessible, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Let me let you know about next steps. So what's going to happen is I'm going to present your case as a petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail within 7 days of the decision. All decisions are going to be made in March. If your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If it were granted a reduction, you can't appeal until next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal your decision in court, and instructions how to appeal in court will be in your mail.
Great.
All right?
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure as well.
Of course. And thank you. You have some good, compelling arguments, so I'll be able to submit this over.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Want this closed or open?
You can leave it open. That's fine. Thank you.
Hello.
Ronique.
Okay. No worries. Hello.
Where do you want us to sit? One of you sit here, just close, whoever's going to be speaking close to the phone, or if you're
Okay.
both speaking, doesn't matter.
We'll both speak. Do you want to sit there? But just speak loudly, please.
Yes.
Both kind of deaf.
It is being recorded, which is why we have this phone here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, just hold this one. And you are Alice, which one's?
I'm
Alice and Mary.
Mary.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, and you both are the owners of the property?
Yes.
Of 1116 Reef Road?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, perfect. Welcome.
This is fun, sorry.
No worries. Like I said, my name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and it's also being recorded, like I said. To confirm a few things for the recorded line, the appeal number that we're appealing is 193.
Yes.
The property you are appealing is located at 1116 Reef Road, and you both are the owner of the property, and the town has your house appraised at $491,200, and you are requesting that the town reduce your appraised value to $300,000. Is that correct? Great, thank you. And so I'm just going to swear one of you in. If you can just raise your right hand. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah, you can do it. You do it. You do it. You do it. You do it.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great, thank you. If you can sign that form, that page that she gave you. Perfect. Yeah, I'll take care of the rest. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so here's your opportunity to present testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1, 2020 was $300,000 and not the value assessed by the town. Market value is what your home would most likely sell for on that date, so try to be as succinct as possible.
I wrote it all down, all our arguments, and we don't have anything else to add to that.
Okay, so I do have your appeal here. So just kind of going off of this, the appeal of almost over $100,000 with similar homes selling between the $250,000 and $300,000 range. And the most comparable home that you guys were looking at was 12 Knapp Park and 132 Pequot?
Those two, yeah. And then there was one that was sold a year before, but I don't know if you can use that. That's very similar.
Whatever you'd like to add. I mean, is there any additional paperwork you'd like to add to this?
No, I put in all the cards and everything.
I do see that. Okay. And then your card.
I think our card was first.
Okay. No, but that's okay. I have it on here if I can't find it here. It's not a big deal. So,
No?
no, but that's okay, because I have... Oh, here we are. And the only... Yeah, that's more than 5 years ago. Okay. And we're not assessors. What we really do is we all deliberate together and we decide as a board to bring this up to vote. So anything you can help me present to the board would be great. So looking on the paperwork, you're looking at 2 comparable houses, which is great. I'm glad you did that. But
And then I also put the nuisance stuff down at the bottom, that it is next to the C grade.
Okay. Okay. So your property,
Are you from Fairfield? Do you know the C grade?
yeah, well, I'm not from here. I'm getting familiar with it. So I've been here for the past 2 years. So my house is on Bronson. But so I know the area is complicated because with the transfer station and the buses, and it's gotten loud.
It's next to the C grade, which is the bar and grill, and it's next to the dumpster of the C grade.
Oh, I see. So my apologies, you're on Reef Road. The last assessment was over by the transfer station, so she had
I was going to say buses.
Oh, so you're by the bar. Okay, so by the bar on Reef Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have all these documents here.
Mm-hmm. There was one that didn't print 2 pages. It was something was corrupted. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. We have it all in file anyway. Yeah, when I pull up your.
Well, it sounds like it's near the beach, but it's not near the beach because you have to walk down to the beach. Or it's private beaches, the beach near us.
Right.
Unless you want to swim off the reef.
Yeah, so here we are. What appraisal for 1.2? Oh, it's a cute house.
It is a cute house, but
no, I know.
It's the vinyl siding that makes it look nice.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay. And you have 1 bedroom. These comparables, I don't think I've had.
I went with the size.
The square footage. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we have all your documents here.
Yeah.
Anything else you?
No, I wrote everything in there.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
You definitely gave some clear, succinct information. So what I'll do, let me tell you about next steps here. So what we do as a board is we deliberate and then we vote. So I'll be presenting your petition to the majority of the board, and you'll be notified by mail by the board's decision within 7 days of the decision. All decisions are going to be made in March. If your appeal was denied, you can come back again next year. If it was granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next step to appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, concerns?
Do you understand why we're?
Yeah, you're next to a restaurant. It's
not. It's a bar.
Yeah, a bar, right? And it's
you
next
hear
to a dumpster.
Yeah.
The comparables, I see the comparables and the difference in value.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely vote together.
Okay, great.
On this. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both for coming down. It was a pleasure.
These are fun.
I know. It dates from '99 to over.
Yeah, because we knew John Sullivan.
Or '93.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, of course. Take care.
Thanks.
And just let you guys know, the phone's here because we're recording all of this,
Okay.
and it's open to the public as well.
The recording, you're saying?
Anything we do.
Oh, okay.
So this is Jackie Davis.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Ronique. Pleasure to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Of course.
Are you a realtor?
No. So I'm part of the Board of Appeals.
Okay.
And so I'm one of 9, and so we're all volunteers. We all deliberate together, and then we kind of vote together as a whole.
Science will win.
Yeah, I work at Pfizer on my day job.
Oh, nice. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm in the vaccines division, so
Oh, great.
we've been busy.
Yeah, I
I was
imagine.
going to say, you're in 2 areas, you're very busy, right?
Yeah. But I'm here helping out all the appeals for this year.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. And so your name again one more time, I'm sorry.
Jackie Davis.
Okay.
I'm his real estate agent.
Got it, okay. Okay, perfect. And did she give you a piece of paper? Okay, perfect. First off, welcome. My name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the board, like I said. I'm going to hear your appeals today. The appeals is being recorded, open to the public. And so just to confirm a couple of things, your appeal number is 532, and the property you're appealing is 190 Long Dean Road, and you are the property owner?
Correct.
All right, great. And you can state your name for the record?
My name is Harry M. Geary, Jr.
Great, thanks. The town has your property appraised for $489,100, and you're requesting that the town reduce your property to $415. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, great, thanks. And if you can just raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Great, thank you. If you can just sign that for me.
You do the rest.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So here's your opportunity to testify as to why you believe on October 1, 2020, the market value of the house should be $415,000, not what the town assessed it at, and market value is what your home would most likely be sold for on that date. And please try to be as distinct as possible.
All right. So on the year of October 1, 2020,
yep.
A house sold on our street,
okay,
32 Long Dean Road,
okay,
closed on 8/31/2020 for the price of $417,500.
Okay.
It was appraised at, or assessed at, I should say, because I don't have the appraised value.
Yeah.
For $300,370. So if you divide that by 0.7
right.
to get the value,
it's still under.
that's
What was it? 300 what?
370.
So that's appraised at $429,100.
And it's sold for roughly $12,000 less.
429, what was that?
$429,100 is what the town had it appraised at, and it sold for less than the appraised value.
Got it.
Now this house is larger than my house in square footage. It has 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
And it's on a road that abuts town property. That is the sewer facility.
Okay.
That is the bus depot, and is the transfer station that you can see from our road.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with all that.
And so they don't have a distinct view of it.
Right.
But it's part of the Long Dean Road admission. On another house that abuts my property, it shares a property line.
Yeah.
That house sold for $460,000, but it sold in June 26th of 2019. So it's about 3 months outside that window that we're looking at of a year.
What was the assessed value?
And the assessed value is $344,190.
So the appraised value of that house is $491,700. And again, it sold
For
below
$460,000.
sold below the appraised value.
So for me, I don't know how well you guys agree with this, but there's been construction going on behind our house for the sewer facility
they're putting up that wall.
Yeah.
The contaminated land.
Yeah.
And the bus depot and the transfer station all had been a factor in his price, because I don't have exactly how many days on the market, but he had it on 3 different times because it was going so long that they had to pull it off to refresh it.
Yeah.
As he used to tell me.
What was the property address?
That's 200 Longdean. That's my.
And then I have it all typed up here.
Oh, perfect.
We'll give you this whole file.
Oh, perfect.
And that has 4 bedrooms, has a 1-car garage, and that's 200 square feet, where I'm 1,300.
Okay.
Same year built, and they have central air, which I don't have.
Okay.
So those are the major pieces that I don't have. So for me to be valued at $490,000, bigger than a house that has another bedroom, has a car garage, which are premium things, and the AC nowadays is a premium. So that's tough. So those.
Can I take over?
Absolutely, and then we'll talk about that.
So I just want to take over as his real estate agent.
Yeah.
So if I were to sell these homes, that his street is considered an inferior street to East Lawn, Pratt, which they're being assessed the same. Okay.
Right.
East Lawn, Pratt, Oldfield Drive, Forest, James,
Alden.
and Catherine Terrace and Alden. Okay.
Yep.
So we have some documented homes, which I did for this. I wanted to kind of compare apples to apples.
Yeah.
So I have 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths.
Okay.
Okay. Of that, in the past year, so I'm staying in the same calendar year.
Yeah.
4 homes, 38 Forest, 135 Alden, 123 Alden, and 307 East Lawn.
Okay.
All were sold over the town appraised value. Okay. So if you right there, that algorithm will show you that these homes are selling better than the town sees.
Right.
Okay. And the homes on Longdean are consistently selling less than that.
Okay.
Okay. So
Right.
it's really like if you're going to compare things and you're going to be fair.
Right.
And taking the same assessment, you can't really see these as like-minded properties.
Right.
We as agents.
Yeah.
You can't do steering or you can't do any of that, but you do know that the values are going to be different.
Right.
And then, subsequently how you make your offers and whatnot.
Right.
So I think that Harry is at a deficit in the sense at being taxed and assessed at that similarly to these other homes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's big public knowledge about the contamination.
Yeah.
That's been in a lot of paperwork and,
Yeah.
and the work being done on the sewer. That's been bantered about because I think they did something wrong because they stopped construction right now, and I'm sitting there staring at steel beams sticking out of the ground.
And it doesn't fall on deaf ears because the town knows this and the people know this and the agents know this. So when they're selling a home, it hurts them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Do I have the ability to send you a picture or no? Because I have a picture of the steel. Or no, you don't have anything to receive.
I mean, I could personally receive it and then I can print it.
Do you want to do that or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So here's the picture.
Or you can actually air
text it to you.
You're
or
familiar with the street,
I'll air it to you.
Yeah, it's especially with all that construction, because I think they actually built pipes underneath it, and so now you can't really do much, and so now they're at a crossroads. They're like, all right, well, how do I?
Right, and it's again, like I said, a deficit for the people on Longdean that are facing this.
Yeah, my neighbor had some choice words.
Yeah.
For when he was trying to sell his house, it was nice to stop by and talk to him every now and then. So your iPad's waiting. Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And those are the steel beams on the left with the wall that's protecting the.
I know. Yeah.
So it's quite the eyesore. We've met with Brenda Kupchik a couple of times at the end of the street and a couple of town officials about. One of the things is the lights from the bus depot are so bright that they're shining in the back of all our windows. The construction noise was extremely loud during everybody was quarantined during March through like June when they were doing it.
Yeah.
And we all complained about we can't do our Google Meets because there's so much noise going on. Because they were hammering that stuff, that steel, right into the ground. So a lot of hammering.
Right.
So
no, definitely, yeah, and I know the assessors are familiar with that area too. And so it's a wild what they're doing there. So, and we don't even know when that's going to
start up again. So to
Right.
finish, it's going to be even longer.
Can we keep this folder for record?
Absolutely.
Or should we just take the papers?
No, you can keep that beautiful folder advertising. You
Does that
don't
have
need
your
the folder
card
back, do
You can keep it. It's my gift to you.
Perfect.
Especially if you help Harry out.
with us on the board.
Split it up evenly.
Is there anything that you would need from us additionally that I can help you with? Any questions that you would have as
You guys, you gave some really clarifying information, some good information on the appeal. So kind of what happens on next steps. So it's so we're going to be presenting your case as a petition to the majority of the board. So we all vote and consider it, and you'll be notified by mail from all of our decisions within 7 days. And all the decisions are going to be made in March. And if your appeal is denied, you can come back in next year. If you're granted reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal in court. The instructions on how to appeal in court will be included in the mail.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add to the record?
No, just that I feel strongly about this. I only go with clients that I believe that, morally and ethically and based on factual data have a case.
Yeah.
I won't fight things that, or even put my name out there if it's not something that should
Right.
be done. And Harry has, in my opinion, a very strong case.
Yeah. You have to give some really good information here.
Yeah.
You guys gave details, not just saying, my house is dry.
and I'm at the very end of Long Team too, so I mean, you guys will figure that out when you see 190.
He's affected. So.
Yeah,
I know for sure.
Awesome.
Sure. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for your service.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, I know.
Go Pfizer.
I know, thank you.
I want to get my vaccination. I'm 56 and I'm trying to get into the.
Were you able to get an appointment yet?
No, and I was on it like 6 in the morning.
Really?
So they have me on. I keep checking because they had it backed out through like end of April, and I'm going to try to get in earlier. So.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to get J&J's vaccine, but Moderna's and Pfizer's are going around Connecticut.
Yeah.
We have to stop here.
Yeah,
I'm a school teacher. They're at Brian McMahon right now. They get both of those, and I got the Pfizer. I got both already.
Oh, really?
Oh, good for you. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Have a good night.
You
thanks
as well.
for your service.
Thank you. Take care.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 91432588195 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, this message is from Matthew Foley. My name is Ronique with the Town of Fairfield Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm calling a little bit early, but I'm going to try back again in 10 minutes for your appeals. And you'll receive a call soon from this number again, and I hope to connect with you soon. Thanks. Bye.
computer, iPad?
Hello, this is Ronique at Fairfield.
Yeah, hey, this is Matt Foley. I just missed your call.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Thank you for calling me back. I appreciate it.
No problem. Sorry, I had it on silent mode, so I didn't hear it.
No worries. I'm just getting the recording all reset back up, so just bear with me for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
And just so you know, I have you on speaker for a recorded line because it's also open to the public as well.
Okay.
And my name is Ronique. I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and like I said, it's being recorded. To verify a few things with you, I have your appeal number as 637. The property you're appealing is located at 91 Longdean Road in Fairfield. And speak your name for the record.
It's Matthew Foley.
And you're the owner of 91 Longdean Road?
Yes.
Great, thanks. The town has your property appraised at $640,000, and you're requesting that the town reduce your appraised value to $542,228. Is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, great. This is going to sound funny, but if you can raise your right arm, I'm going to swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Great. Thank you so much. So here's your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st was $542,228 and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home would most likely sell on that date, so please be as succinct as possible.
Yeah, sure. It's just based on 2 factors.
Yep.
So one and probably most importantly was just looking at comparable sales.
Yep.
That are in like the closest proximity of my home. So I looked at, and I know you have this information, but
yep.
I submitted two comps that were in the past year one is slightly over a year old, but it's right down the street from me on 200 Longdean Road, and then the other was
91.
Yeah, and then 32 Longdean Road, and then there was one kind of right behind me on Forest that sold last summer. So I put in those 3 comps just because they're close in size and very close in proximity, depending on the house, and then just pulled the kind of average, looked at like the average price per square foot that those had sold for, which was for those comps it was $283. Versus like if you just do the math on the town's assessment, I've got just over 1,900 square feet, and it's got me at about $337 per square feet. So, looking at like the closest comparables and knowing my home is not a new home, it's a partially renovated home,
yep.
An old Cape. It looks like a new home on the front, kind of, because we refaced the front, but it's an old renovated Cape from the 50s. So Anyway, the point is it got me to what I think is a lower. So I used that average price per square foot, which was $283, and just did the math from there on a little over. I think it's 1916 is my square footage, and it got me to $542. So I thought the price, the valuation per square foot was overstated for kind of a partially renovated Cape on this street.
Okay.
In this particular area. So that was point 1.
Really quick before you go to point 2. So one of the comparable sales, 200 Longdean, are you saying that's the most comparable to yours? 200
Longdean would be very close, yeah. It's right down, it's just a few houses down. And it's a little bit larger. It's 2,100 square feet.
Yep.
It sold for $460. That was before the assessment was done. That was sold in the summer of 2019.
Yep.
And then there was a house that was smaller. It's 1,692 square feet, just a few houses down the other way on Longdean. It sold for $418,000 on 8/30/20. So last summer.
Okay. Okay.
But those were the only 2 I could find on my street.
What was the address of that house on 417? I don't see the address on this one. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 32 Longdean, and then the other one's 4th. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm realizing I didn't put that on there, did I?
No, you have it on the second page. So
32.
Yeah.
32 Longdean Road. Yeah, and then the last one's Forest, which is direct. It's almost like not directly behind me, but it's this parallel street that I pulled, and that house sold, it's 1567 square, so it sold for quite a bit more, per square feet
And that's
around the same time.
And that, you said that's across the street?
It's on the street behind me that's parallel Forest Ave, so it's like,
okay.
But it's got a much larger lot too.
Okay.
Which I think was part of it. But anyway, so yeah. So I mean, those are the three that I could find, without pulling like a new home.
Yeah.
That had been built and sold on the road. So those are the three that were really close, that were recent, and that was the map that I got to.
Yep.
So that was it. And then the second thing was just around the street itself, and I don't know how familiar you are with like these. I would imagine you're probably pretty familiar, but
yeah.
But yeah. So, but yeah, Longdean is, we've been here for quite a while, and it's, unfortunately, it's the street, it's like the last street that butts up against the sewage treatment plant and like that kind of marsh area and all that.
Yeah.
So it also makes it a little bit tricky, which also allowed me to buy a house for pretty inexpensive here 10 years ago, but it just, because of that, it's just not the most desirable location. So it also makes it tricky with comparable pricing, and that's why I tried to pull comps right here, because it's not, if you know the street, it's fine, but it's right next to a pretty tough spot. So from a real estate perspective, it usually gets kind of dinged.
And with all the retaining wall and all the construction going on.
Exactly. Like you got the construction, you've got pretty foul odors that come through, and then this contamination. The whole thing that's going on isn't helping either, because that's been all over the news. And some of the, one of the sites is right around that water treatment plant that we butt up against. So that's also not really helping the attractiveness of this area. So that was just the second point. It's hard for me to put a dollar amount around that.
Right.
But I just know it's hurt the attraction of this particular street, even compared to Forest Ave, which is only one street over. I think the further you get away from off that marsh and butting up against the sewage treatment plant, it probably helps. So that was the other consideration.
Okay. Yeah, and I have the documents that you provided about that too, with the article. So thank you for that. Anything else you'd like for me to add? So what basically we deliberate as a board for voting. So anything that you can provide me to help me with your case would be great.
I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
That I pulled. I kept it pretty simple. It's just my comps and the location, so I don't have anything more than that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You have some good, compelling arguments here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present your petition to the majority of the board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail within 7 days of the decision, and all decisions are going to be made in March. So if your appeal is denied, you can come back again next year. If you are granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years. If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can take the next steps and appeal the decision in court, and the instructions how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Okay, cool.
All right. Any other questions, concerns?
No, I guess it just sounds like I would just wait for a letter is the next communication I'd get.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, no, thanks a lot. I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, no, of course. Thanks for calling back, and it was a pleasure. Good luck, and you take care.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Bye.